We're back this week.
That was my shoulder.
We're back this week covering Euro 2024. We're covering the big teams and some disappointing results. We're starting off with Belgium losing their first game. Mike, what's the problem?
Yeah, Dirk, the problem is that Belgium's national team has a track record of consistently disappointing. It's kind of like my track record at the elementary track meet in 1999, where I just gave up on the 400 meters. Belgium, Dirk, consistently has done this since 2012. All we've heard about is look out for Belgium. They're the team to watch at this national tournament. Going back to the 2012 Euros, and what do they have to show for it? Absolutely nothing. They are the eclair resting in the trash can that George Costanza eats in Seinfeld, Dirk. That is the Belgian national team.
All right.
Maybe we'll call it a Belgian waffle in the trash can.
Let's be honest here. We're talking about the group stage. It's the beautiful thing about how international tournaments are set up in soccer.
Yeah.
You can drop a game and you're still not out of it. Look, it's a disappointing loss. They have an uphill battle, but that team has too much talent to count them out. You have De Bruyne and Lukaku. I mean, to just say that they're going to disappoint and they're out, it's done, write them off, I think that's way too early, Mike. Let's talk about some other teams that are huge.
Now, to your point, I will say this. I mean, there is precedent for this. Spain actually lost its first match in the 2010 World Cup and won the whole cup. It can happen, but Dirk, I'm not saying
we're not talking of the same team or quality.
No, we are not, and I'm saying that there is a long track record of Belgium doing this. This is not just in a vacuum. This is what they do.
Yeah.
They consistently suck in national tournaments, in international tournaments.
All right, some other big names. Yeah, Portugal, England, France, and the Netherlands all going and only winning their first playing game, which should have been by wider margins by 1 point. You have the Netherlands going down by 1 point early on to a Polish team that they should have beaten by a wide margin. Even dropping one is a concern. Mike, do you have any concerns about any other team or any of these teams that have only won by 1 point that really are, the big names in this tournament?
Dirk, I do not have a whole lot of concerns on that front. Everyone in a group stage game kind of gets their mulligan. Honestly, if it wasn't Belgium, I wouldn't have as many concerns about Belgium's loss in the first round. It happens. Like, teams occasionally struggle in the first round or the opening group stages of an international tournament like Euro, and you find your footing. Sometimes you just have to survive in advance. I don't have historical statistics, but I'm sure there are plenty of 1-1-1 teams that have gone on to win international tournaments. So it happens. With that said, Dirk, no one has looked particularly dominant thus far. I think it really is, again, going to be who, gets their feet under them as the tournament goes on. But we've also seen historically the Euro tournament be a tournament where it can be an odd random nation that wins it. Greece in 2004 being maybe the defining example, knocking out a bunch of powerhouses. So I don't know. To be honest with you, it's a little early to say. What's your take on it?
Well, the team that I'm actually most concerned about is probably the Dutch team that started it off. The reason is that goal that they dropped early on was just off of poor fundamentals, poor defending. Corner kicks, 3% of corners. 3% of corners result in a goal. 3. Not only that, only like 7 or 8% of corners result in a shot on goal. The fact that they drop this, it comes down to just really, really poor fundamentals in defending. Starting this way, balls over here, not even paying attention to the guy at my back. This is just basics, man. Do you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the Dutch team, I think they're older. Virgil van Dijk's still amazing. However, he's getting it up in the age. And so is some of the other high talent on that team. I think they could turn it around, but I'm concerned about them. The other team that I think really is disappointing is Croatia. I mean, I know they've dropped their games and they're pretty well out of it at this point, but I expected more out of that. The Dutch are going to have a pretty tough next match. They play the French, and that group is probably the group of death between Poland, France, Netherlands. I mean, those three alone would make it a substantial group, and we'll see how that turns out. But Germany, being the host nation, has already won 2 of their games, won by 3. Spain by 3. I really am looking towards Spain, Germany, and France to be the top dogs going into the, single elimination games.
Not a big surprise there, Dirk. I think Portugal still is going to be a dangerous team moving forward. To me, the team that is on ice is England. I mean, this is in some ways a secondary golden generation for England. They've been knocking at the door on major tournaments. Their fans in that country have been waiting many years to break through in something, and I'm not sure if I'm seeing the signs of life in this tournament after losing the final in 2021 to Italy on penalty kicks. I think a lot of people were hoping England was going to have a surge. Haven't seen it so far.
Well, they didn't drop a goal. They played defensively.
Yeah.
They came out in a defensive structure, and even Southgate said it. That it's basically, hey, look, we played passive. Yeah, you played passive. You're in a passive formation. You're playing passive fundamentally. I mean, what do you expect? So the fact that they didn't drop a goal, that's where I'm at. If you're going to come out more defensively, as long as you keep that clean sheet, I'm pretty okay with it. Harry Kane's going to figure it out. I think the rest of them will. I'm not sleeping on England.